everyone, this is Jess Bloom from
Sunny
Sydney in Australia, and you're listening to 22 West Radio.
We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now, our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 99 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. Rob, we've made it 99 episodes.
Goes by fast.
Into our show. It's been a couple of years since we've been doing this. We've had a few breaks, so we would have gotten there sooner, but we're here now, and that's what's most important. One person that isn't here who joined us along the way is James. He is currently on assignment once again, but he will be back for our 100th episode, happening very soon. We'll get the date for everyone shortly, but until then, you can follow us on Facebook. Give us a like there that is facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, where we post predictions. All episodes are uploaded there on Facebook, as well as additional content. We are also on YouTube. Just search up Beyond the Ropes, search up Rob Flores or Rob Flores Media. How many episodes are uploaded there, Rob?
98 already.
All 98 episodes recorded thus far are uploaded there. You can follow us individually on our Twitters at EthanNB95.
Rob Flores Media.
And you can follow James at JHW Reporter, or you can follow all of us collectively, the show account, at Real BTR Radio. That is Real BTR Radio. BTR Radio has 2 R's in it. Now, 99 episodes, and we are always on You Now. And how do they find us there?
Ask questions.
That's right, the hashtag, correct?
Yeah.
Ask questions. James took over that spot, but he's not here, so you got it back. You got promoted again back to You Now hashtag guy. Anyways, Thanksgiving is coming up, and the yearly tradition of Thanksgiving is the Survivor Series event, which is happening this Sunday, as well as NXT TakeOver War Games happening all in Chicago, and it's expected to be a great show. It's going to be Monday Night Raw versus Friday Night SmackDown versus Wednesday Night NXT, and during that show, you can expect me to tweet live from it. So again, follow me at EthanNB95. Rob and I are going to give our predictions in a little bit. James did give me some notes of some stuff he wanted to give his thoughts on that I asked for earlier.
Bret Hart?
No, I gave him some topics that we were going to discuss, and he replied to them in a nicely worded text message. And I don't think there was any Bret Hart comment, thankfully, but I'm sure we'll hear about it when he returns for episode 100. So, all right, now let's get into it. The big news, breaking news, last Tuesday on FS1, which is the Fox-owned network, during WWE Backstage, the last about minute or two, a big return happened. We had previously discussed it, how it was a possibility. However, it seemed at that point, a few weeks ago, that it wasn't going to happen anymore. Well, it happened. The big return. It's CM Punk. What are your thoughts on that, Rob?
It's about time.
It's about time.
We're playing his theme song after the show every week.
That's right. Is that what you've been doing? You've been playing his theme songs. You're hoping that he would return. Is that your plan? Is that what your plan?
He showed up.
Are you changing the theme song now that he's showed up, or no? You're still gonna play it?
Maybe he'll get a new theme song. I don't know.
Well, he came out too close to personality last week, so
he's probably saving it for when he shows up to the actual ring. Yeah.
I don't know. You and James are very optimistic about this return. I'm still hesitant. I don't know if he's gonna come back in ring. So this is kind of the gist of his deal. He signed with Fox to appear as a guest contributor for WWE Backstage, which is the Fox-owned studio show. that WWE has no part in. Everyone that's on that is specifically for Fox or signed by Fox, and so apparently WWE had no involvement in the signing of Punk by Fox. Um, they apparently didn't seem to really care. It was a Fox move, so again, it's a network decision. As of now, he's only a guest contributor for WWE Backstage. He will appear tomorrow night's show. He did tweet out that he had been studying the past 5 years of wrestling, catching up on what he's missed. So we'll see what happens. He was called up by a number of wrestlers, including Seth Rollins, who wants a match really badly. Apparently, he even tweeted at him today that he wanted a match. So
His PR skills just aren't up there as far as with Kenny and stuff.
I don't know. I have a few things to say about that company and their president, but I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant after the break. But CM Punk is back under a WWE related program. They did mention him on SmackDown promoting WWE Backstage, but that was it. They didn't, have him appear or anything.
His bio.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. James has some thoughts about it. This is what he had to say when it comes to CM Punk and his return.
You were about to announce it like an announcer, or you were like CM Punk?
And my voice is like coming and going, so I don't.
Not James. Ethan was trying to get into his theater trailer voice.
That's right. The go full movie theater voice right now. No, this is from James, and I quote: "Well, it puts an end to the rumors. Can't hurt to have Punk back, but it is only a matter of time before he ends up in the ring. I just think it's bound to happen." So he agrees with you. I kind of want the same thing to happen. I'm just not as optimistic, but we'll see what happens.
You know, it'd be really interesting, considering how long maybe his Fox contract is, if there's no exclusivity. He's on TV for WWE related, for there without necessarily being under the WWE banner, but in ring-wise, for AEW.
No, let's not. No, I think I saw something like that on Twitter too. Someone mentioning that. No, he's just not going to AEW. There's been some funny memes of people saying like CM Punk got tired of Cody text messaging him that he signed with WWE, so he could shut up about it. But yeah, James does continue. He has more to say. Yes, he signed the deal with Fox, but that is the same deal that happened with Warrior. He was brought back into the WWE family after originally doing the 2K video game, which is true. That opened the door for him to end up in the Hall of Fame. And in parentheses, he says, not that this is leading to Punk getting into the Hall of Fame right now, but just back in the ring. Although it was a nice touch for them to have some familiar faces around Punk for his first show, seems like he already has a good relationship with Renee Young and has a history with Samoa Joe from back in the day. Samoa Joe was had a guest contributor last week, so he was there.
Is it Andrew?
Yes, in fact, he's on commentary for Monday Night Raw tonight, and apparently he's doing very well, so not surprising, because Joe is one of the best talkers in the business. So I don't know when he'll be back, but hopefully very soon. CM Punk signs with Fox. Big deal. James did mention, or bring it up to me, that Survivor Series this weekend again will happen in Chicago. And he speculated that CM Punk could appear. It is Chicago. What do you think about that? Is that a possibility?
At best, maybe via satellite something.
Via satellite? I think that would be a bit of a disappointment if you're going to have him via satellite. It's Chicago. If you're going to have him appear on a WWE actual wrestling program, you kind of need to have him in person.
You want to make him happy, win the Rumble, and promise him the main event.
He did tweet that he was not going to be in the Rumble. Someone asked him and he said, no, I'm not in the Rumble or something, but he said, I will be talking about it. So, as a contributor for FS1's WWE Backstage. I've been giving them promo already for 10 minutes now. But tomorrow night, looking forward to seeing what else he will contribute to the show. Apparently he has some thoughts, and should be very interesting. And some other news, we got a new Universal Championship.
What does it look like?
It's the same thing but blue.
Oh,
Bray Wyatt presented it last Friday night on SmackDown.
strap?
It's a blue strap. It looks nice. I like it. So, yeah.
How different is it from the women's one now? Because the women's one already had the blue center part.
Well, it has a white strap, the women's one. The Universal title has all blue. So it's all blue, which is, I like it. I think it looks nice. Apparently some people have been complaining about it, but
So
that's,
when repackaged it.
it is what it is. I don't know. You got it blue for Friday Night SmackDown. Nothing crazy there. But we'll see how long do you think Bray's gonna have that Universal Championship? Till Mania?
How interesting would it be if at the Rumble maybe he'll lose it and then he has a chance to maybe reclaim it at the pay-per-view? Or something interesting has to happen at the pay-per-view before me.
Before Mania? I feel like he'll lose it at Mania. I feel like he's gonna stay strong, take 10 different finishers every match, because apparently that's what the Fiend is now. And the question is, who's gonna beat him for it? That's another difficult thing, because Seth couldn't beat him for it, and Seth is like the number one guy right now. Is it gonna be Roman? Is Roman gonna be the guy? Is he gonna be back as a big dog?
Shield people, that's it for now.
You think that you should move on? By the way, speaking of the Shield, it is the 7th anniversary since the Shield made their debut today. That's right. So, we're ever gonna see a Shield reunion?
Not unless they jump to AEW, join Mox.
No, they're not leaving they're not going anywhere. I don't know. Moxley in AEW is not a fan of that. Not a fan of his death match character. I just don't feel it. I don't know. There's a lot of things about AEW I'm not feeling, and I think everyone's going to hear about it when we return from our commercial break. Before we hit commercial break, let's give a few more plugs. Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, videos, predictions, and so much more. We are currently on you now with the hashtag
Ask questions.
And YouTube to search up Beyond the Ropes, or search up Rob Flores or Rob Flores Media, and you'll find over 90 episodes uploaded. I believe all 98 episodes are currently uploaded. And individually, Twitter, at EthanNB95.
Rob Flores Media.
And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
En la esquina de East 7th Street y Alamito está el Museo de Arte Latinoamericano, una organización
Survivor
non-profit
Series
que expande el
predictions,
conocimiento, la apreciación del arte latinoamericano moderno y contemporáneo, y es el único museo en los Estados Unidos que está dedicado a presentar este tipo de arte. El museo tiene una colección permanente con más de 1,600 obras de arte. Hasta mayo 12 tienen la exhibición La Huella Múltiple, que busca reunir las mejores obras gráficas producidas por artistas cubanos, populares y emergentes. Para conseguir más información se pueden dirigir a su página de internet en bola.org.
One of the promos that I'm playing of it, he's the only other show I know that does like video, but he's got a camera crew.
You got a sip of it?
I was very impressed, like, only once I was walking by and I think it was a previous semester, he's got a backdrop.
1,600 works of art. Until May 12th, they have the exhibition, La Huella Múltiple, with the multiple print, which seeks together the best graphic works produced by popular and emerging exhibit artists. For more
Can you
information,
imagine
you
how
can
much
go to
does
the
all that
website
cost?
mola.org.
And does he pay his crew or how does it work?
I'm sure he has.
Programming support for 22 West Radio is provided by Turkish Airlines. With 307 destinations worldwide, Turkish Airlines flies to 124 countries and offers daily non-stop flights from Los Angeles to Istanbul and beyond. For more information, visit turkishairlines.com. Widen your world.
Hallihallöchen. That was a cringy way to say hello in German. You will learn more of that if you join my show, So Deutsch, every Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. I'm not only playing good German music and teaching you weird German words, but I will also tell you everything I know about the country. So listen to So Deutsch on 22westmedia.com.
Here's the camera one.
What's good, listeners? I'm Chris Collins, your host of The Chris Collins Show.
And I'm Marissa Pitts, his trusty sidekick.
And we're here to break the mold.
That's right.
Are you tired of talking heads discussing our train of thought as if it's another piece of recycled news?
Mm-hmm.
Our show provides millennials with an outlet to express their points of view.
And we speak to a wide variety of topics on our show with invited guests that are actually interesting.
So be sure to tune in to The Chris Collins Show every Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And follow us on social media and check out our website at chriscollinsshow.com. Peace.
Ciao, Bellas.
Hi, this is Cassius. And this is Hui. We're the hosts of Listomania, and you're listening to 22S Radio.
And we're back with episode 98 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And as always, you can give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. You can follow us individually on our Twitter accounts at EthanNV95
Rob Flores Media.
and collectively on our show's accounts, Real BTR Radio, that is Real BTR Radio, and BTR Radio has 2 R's in it. You can go watch our videos. We have 98 episodes uploaded to YouTube. Just search up Beyond the Ropes, search up Rob Flores or Rob Flores Media. You can find us currently on YouNow with the hashtag,
Ask questions.
and my voice keeps coming and going. We've been doing this for 99 episodes, and my voice is finally going away. That's it. I'm not gonna make it to the 100th. I'm gonna have to tap out.
You'll find Kane's original.
Yeah, the voice box. Oh dear. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But you can also follow our good buddy, our fellow analyst here, James, who is currently on assignment. Once again, found an excuse not to make it to the show, not to make it to his committed work. I mean, we don't pay him or anything, but it's it's unfortunate he's not here with us on our 99th episode, but he will be back with us once we hit triple digits in a couple of weeks, I believe. So, let's get into some NXT TakeOver War Games predictions. I'm gonna save my little AEW rant for a little bit later on in the show. I don't want to run too long, but we're gonna give our predictions. NXT TakeOver War Games happening this Saturday in Chicago. So far, only 3 matches have been announced. However, 2 of those matches could last over an hour long, so it would make a lot of sense as to why there are only 3 matches. The first match, made last week, it will be Finn Balor taking on Matt Riddle in a singles match. This happened after Finn Balor called out Matt Riddle, and Riddle last week on NXT attacked Balor to get some redemption, some revenge. He was originally scheduled to appear in the men's War Games match. However, he will be replaced and instead take on Finn Balor. All this is apparently due to an injury sustained by Johnny Gargano, who suffered a neck injury and will not be cleared this Saturday. Gargano was originally scheduled or rumored to take on Finn Balor. However, that is obviously not the case. So it will be Matt Riddle versus Finn Balor. James did not give his predictions for War Games. However, 2 of us will be giving our predictions. Rob, what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to win? Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle.
Nothing's on the line or nothing on the line.
It's just a feud, a little bit of a feud they started a couple weeks ago. So
I think if Riddle pulls off an upset, it'll be a way to continue for a bit.
okay. So you're going with Riddle on the upset here, which I think it would be. I would agree it would be an upset because Finn Balor has not had a match since he returned to NXT last month, and obviously he has a lot more experience. He is a former Universal Champion. He's been on WWE's quote-unquote main shows, Raw and SmackDown, over the last few years. However, I'm going with Balor on this one. I feel like Balor's gonna maybe do some dirty things to get the victory here. I don't think it'll necessarily be clean. However, if it is clean, I would not be surprised. I've got Finn Balor winning this one. For the first time ever, women will step inside the double cage known as the War Games match. It will be Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim taking on the team of Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and the newly added Kaylee Ray, who is the NXT UK Women's Champion, who helped her team get the advantage last week on NXT. Who do we have here? Who do you got, Rob?
Who are they again?
Alright, so Rob doesn't keep up with NXT. Just FYI, it's a Rhea Ripley on one team, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim, who are the baby faces, taking on Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and NXT UK Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, I like the heel team better.
You got the heel team on this one?
Yeah.
I am gonna say you're gonna give it to Rhea Ripley's team, the baby faces. So we're differing on both matches so far, which is good. I don't know. It could go either way, to be quite honest, because it's a star-studded match. The NXT Women's Division, I think many people on Twitter would agree with me because I've seen it. They've got the best women's division in anywhere, in any company, even Raw and SmackDown. Collectively, they've got the best women's division, and this match is sure to be a phenomenal one, to say the least. Next up, we have our next War Games match. It will be the Undisputed Era. There you go. Your favorite. And I know they're my favorite. And I know they're secretly your favorites, okay? You won't admit it, but it's Adam Cole, the NXT champion, with his teammates Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, the NXT Tag Team champions, and Roger Strong, the NXT North American champion, taking on Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, who is replacing Matt Riddle, and a fourth, currently unnamed member. We don't know who the fourth person is, but
What happened to the Dream?
Velveteen Dream is hurt. Now, I don't know if he's going to be clear in time for this. Maybe he...
Those names don't sound that.
Ciampa is a former NXT champion. He's a star. Keith Lee has been on the rise for the last few months, and so has Dijakovic. In fact,
That's the only one I don't know.
Keith Lee and Dijakovic had kind of been in a feud over the last...
Who's Dutch, though?
Who?
Dutch. The other one? Not Keith, but the other one?
Dominic Dijakovic?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Who is he, like?
He's tall. I don't know how to describe him, but he's been in a feud with Keith Lee, and he's been kind of on the rise on NXT for the last few months as well. He was formerly known as Donovan Dijak in the independent scene. You sound familiar now?
Yeah, because...
He was kind of he wasn't a huge signee when he signed to NXT, but he was a known name. Like, people knew who he was. So, but he's all three of those guys have gained significance, especially
It's the same though.
Lee and
Whenever
Dijakovic.
Tommaso's injured or the other one's injured, their tag team just doesn't stay or nothing.
Well, I mean, Ciampa and Gargano haven't been a team officially in quite some time. So, but yeah, it is unfortunate. They both kind of keep getting injured. So, but who do you have on this one?
Only thing that would make this match more exciting is if all the belt was on the line.
I agree. I agree, and I'm surprised all the titles aren't on the line, actually. But first off, who do you think is the fourth guy? I know you don't watch NXT, but I can't guess. Like, without Velveteen Dream or Gargano, I don't know.
Just for excitement purposes, to truly say all the gold is involved, the Cruiserweight champion.
Oh, that would be interesting. Leo Rush is the current champion. And as far as I know, he's not scheduled for Survivor Series, although he might have a title match. Could be wrong. But that would be interesting. He is a face now, and he would work with faces.
That would be the only way I see the other team winning.
Yeah, I mean, possibly.
Otherwise, Undisputed Era's moving.
People have thrown around John Morrison. If he's gonna make his return, that would be the spot, and I would love that, but I just don't know.
I mean, that'd be nice to give a big name over there.
Absolutely, I agree, and I just don't know. I mean, we had heard, it was literally like one full day we had heard that he had signed with WWE. Since then, there has been no smoke at all. There's nothing, no word of anything.
When Sean was there, he was only competing for a brand that only had one belt, sadly.
Yeah, he was on ECW for the longest time. But I would love for it to be John Morrison. Don't know if that's going to be the case. Nonetheless, I've got to go with my guys, the Undisputed Era, of course. They are currently 1-1 at War Games. I saw them the last time at War Games, and unfortunately they lost to the Viking Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. Phenomenal match, though. But I've got the Undisputed Era for this one. So, and you said, what did you say again?
Unless Theo Rush is in the team, it's going to be Undisputed Era.
Alright, so it's going to be Undisputed Era regardless. Unless you got John Morrison, then I could honestly see the faces win. The fact that the titles aren't on the line are probably a good indication that maybe the faces would end up winning. And again, as you mentioned, it wouldn't hurt the Undisputed Era because they
It
still
needs to
have.
be a juicy stipulation at least.
Well, they've got Survivor Series the next night, so I don't know if they need stipulations. I would not be surprised if we see SmackDown and Raw invade TakeOver, because I mean, even tonight, NXT has been showing up on both Raw and SmackDown every week for the last few weeks. So I would not be surprised if Raw and SmackDown finally show up on NXT TakeOver and interrupt the War Games match. Honestly, I could ultimately see the main event being like a thrown away match because SmackDown and Raw invade. So that's NXT TakeOver War Games, and now let's get into our Survivor Series predictions, shall we? All right, so these are the matches currently announced. Card is always subject to change, but as of right now, for the WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar will defend against Rey Mysterio. What do you have on this one?
I mean, if by a miracle, Rey Mysterio would be interesting.
I'm rooting for Rey, but it's gonna be Brock. I mean, you can't bet against Brock. So I'm gonna go with Brock. You've got
Rey or no contest.
Rey or no contest, okay. And James did give his predictions. He did text me. So these are his Survivor Series predictions. Brock Lesnar wins because they won't put the belt here. I think we are really seeing Rey's last run at a main event level. I agree. That's probably Rey's last kind of main event push. So we'll see what happens. Next up, for the Universal Championship, this match was announced last Friday night on SmackDown. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, defends against Daniel Bryan after he attacked Daniel Bryan 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. What do you have for this one?
Yeah, the Fiend.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt's going to keep that title to Mania, I think, personally. James believes Bray retains, as it would be silly to take the belt off him now, especially when they just customized it. Well, technically, they just changed the color blue, so it's not really customized.
Ray should have had a custom belt then for now.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm not crazy about the customized belt, anyways. So, unless it's Undisputed Era. But nevertheless, next match is a triple threat match. The United States Champion AJ Styles.
Match of the night.
Definite potential, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've got that right. Versus Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep.
Say it again.
Match of the night.
Versus NXT North American Champion
Favor
Roderick
for
Strong.
his career. Favor for his career.
Poor Roderick Strong has to work double duty.
That
But,
secondary belt, that's going to give some popularity to that belt, though.
That NXT North American Champion has had some big names: Adam Cole, Ricochet, Johnny Gargano, and Velveteen Dream, Roderick Strong.
Yeah. It's going to boost his career.
Yeah.
Being in that type of level match with those other belts.
Absolutely. And who's gonna win? Who do you got on this one? This is, for me, this
I feel like Vince favors the Intercontinental belt though. Like,
He does not favor Shinsuke Nakamura though.
oh,
So
I mean, that belt in particular. I mean, the favorite would be AJ.
the
but
favorite is AJ, and
then
if
angering the fans would be Roderick.
yeah, and it's well, I don't know. They're in Chicago. They love wrestling. They know their NXT. So they
We'll go with
could be.
Shinsuke because he needs something.
You're going with Shinsuke? Alright, so let's see what James AJ he's got AJ on this one. AJ wins a match with Gallows and Anderson running interference at some point. It's a good little fact. That could be the best match on the card, and I expect Roddy to look strong in defeat. Okay, you got Shinsuke because I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, I'm rooting for Shinsuke. I'm rooting for all three. I like Shinsuke as well. James is rooting for probably the favorite, which is AJ. I would not be surprised if he wins because Raw might need a victory at some point, and I think that would be the match where Raw gets a victory. However, I'm going with my guy, Roderick Strong. NXT all the way.
So each got a different brand,
We've
basically.
each got a different brand because NXT, this is my opinion here, NXT's going to hit the clean sweep.
I like Corey. I think Corey came up with that basically the brand that gets the most victories should get like the last spot in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, his podcast, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If anyone's getting pinned here, it's going to be Shinsuke, I think. If Roddy wins or AJ wins, Shinsuke is going to take the pin. I don't see Roger getting pinned or AJ getting pinned. So that's just where we're at. I don't know. I like Shinsuke too, but they haven't built a proper feud for him since he's been champion, and it's just been unfortunate.
I feel like if he doesn't get this big victory, he might not resign in the future again. He needs something nice for his career.
He is champion, but again, yeah, he's not really doing anything right now. So we'll see where it goes. But I've got Roderick, James has got AJ, you've got Shinsuke. Next up, we've got the women's match. So this is interesting because we don't know who Team NXT is. They have not revealed anyone. Again, I mentioned all their stars are competing in War Games the night before, so I don't know how that's going to work out. However, Team Raw is consisted of Charlotte Flair, and as of right now, I don't know who the other 4 members of Team Raw are either. Taking on Team SmackDown, who are Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross. SmackDown's not winning. I'll say that right now for sure. As I mentioned, I'm going for Team NXT all the way, so I'm going Team NXT on this one. Who do you have?
So none of the other members of the other brands are going to pick.
Besides Charlotte on Team Raw and Team NXT have no one else. I mean, I could look at
I
Twitter.
feel like this would be the moment for the female MMA horsewoman.
They teased it on Raw tonight, so I don't know. Breaking news 15 minutes ago, Triple H is seen backstage walking, so it could be interesting. Who do you have?
He puts himself in a team soon.
We'll get to that. Let's see. Yeah, James doesn't even have a prediction for this. He says, no idea who wins women's elimination match. NXT and Raw teams aren't even official yet, so who do you have? Just make a guess. Who do you think? Which
For
team?
the women's
Women's. Yeah.
NXT.
You got NXT on that one too?
Yeah.
All right, I've got NXT on that one. James had no pick, I guess. So next up,
He'll just say Team 205.
yeah, he'll pick. There's not even a women's division on Team 2. Triple threat match: Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler for this one. You got Shayna too?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised you're going for NXT on this one too.
It's 4 horsewomen.
Yeah. Becky Lynch is strong though. They booked her strong. She's taken like 2 losses this year. So alright, you got Shayna as well. Let's see who let's see. Becky Lynch, he says Becky wins if it's gonna be a clean finish. but he's curious to see how Shayna and Becky go at it. Becky is defeated. It's definitely the wild card in this match, which is very true. She's kind of been a little bit left out of the loop, but you got Shayna on this one, and he's got Becky. He did give his prediction, I think, for one of the War Games matches. He says Undisputed Era wins here. Oh, look at this. They aren't the Hart Foundation, but I think it is a good opportunity to get the top guys on NXT. There you go. There's your Hart Foundation. You jinxed it, Rob. Wait, I had no idea he had mentioned anything to do with the Hart Foundation, and you jinxed it. Well done. All right, next up, tag team. The Viking Raiders, the Raw Tag Team Champions, taking on the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day. They won those titles from the Revival back. Versus the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Xavier's champion even while being out.
That's right, he is. 7-time. The Undisputed Era as NXT Tag Team Champions. Who do you have here?
What again, all of them?
Viking Raiders for Raw, New Day for SmackDown, Undisputed Era for NXT. I've got Undisputed Era, NXT.
I feel like Viking Raiders doesn't have anything going on for them unless, I mean, I'd really want Kofi just to win, but I gotta kind of see if Viking Raiders will pull off an upset.
Okay. I guess James was talking about the Undisputed Era winning in this match, because he mentioned the Hart Foundation, which are a tag team, so he's going for Undisputed Era for this match. I'm going for Undisputed Era in this match because Team NXT all the way. What happened?
Viking Raiders.
You got Viking Raiders, right? Next up, we have, I believe, our last match, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So our last announced match, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown versus Team NXT. Team Raw currently is led by Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Ricochet. Versus Team SmackDown, Roman Reigns, Mustafa Ali, who got his name back, by the way. He's no longer Ali. He's Mustafa Ali again. Braun Strowman, King Corbin, and Shorty G. Yeah, he lost his name. Versus Team NXT, who have yet to be announced. I've got Team NXT on this.
I think SmackDown will get this one.
You got SmackDown on this one? I don't know, because you got King Corbin and Roman not getting along. Strange things to happen. James agrees with you. Team SmackDown wins. Sounds like NXT is still to be announced, and that could change, but I don't think
Because I feel that Raw has like very big names. They wouldn't hurt them.
Yeah. I don't think Raw's going to win at all. So he thinks this match could actually go either way. He thinks some teammates will...
I'm just confused how the tag platform's going to work.
That's true. It's interesting. This is the first time ever they're doing it for Survivor Series this way. James continues with, I can see Baron impacting out of the SmackDown squad since walking out and he could walk out on his teammates. He says the whole thing could change on who the NXT team is, but he doesn't see them going over. He thinks Velveteen Dream could show up there, but it could be a good showing for him. But he might still be injured. So I've got Team NXT. You've got Team
SmackDown.
And I believe James also has Team
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles might be the sole member for Raw winning.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's where Raw would get the victory, I think, if they get any.
Tonight.
Yeah, probably. But I've got Team NXT all the way, through and through. So, all right, we gotta hit another commercial break. We've talked about it. Survivor Series, Thanksgiving tradition. Looking forward to it this weekend, as well as NXT TakeOver War Games. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Interested in supporting the communities of Seal Beach, Los Alamitos, and Rossmore? Amateur Radio Emergency Service is looking for volunteers to work in emergency communications and message handling. Aries volunteers respond to blackouts, floods, weather disasters, fires, and other areas where people have to be mobilized or evacuated from. In addition, Aries also supports event communications for safety and coordination, such as parades and fairs. As a dedicated group of people from various backgrounds, Aries volunteers strive to help develop a safer community. If you are interested or would like more information, please visit arrl.org.
This is the BPM Beats 1 Top 12 with Charlie Sharp.
Hello, what's going on, man? What are you doing every Monday and Friday from 12 noon to 1 p.m.? I know what you're doing. You're listening to the BPM Beats 1 Top 12 right here on 22 West Radio. I'm Charlie Sharp. Join me every Monday and Friday. It's 12 noon to 1 right here on 22 West Radio.
Hey guys, Spencer Klein, host of a new political talk show, Talking with Spencer. Join me on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. where we go over controversial political subjects that affect you from day to day. See you there.
You're listening to 22 West Radio, the new home of K-Beach. And if you're listening on your desktop or through our website, you may want to take us along for the ride anywhere you go. It's so simple to do. All you have to do is download the free Radio FX app from the App Store. Then when you install it, just search for 22, type the number 22 in the search box, and then hit the star to favorite it. That way, 22 West Radio will always be at the top of your feed on the Radio FX app. It's Radio FX. It's free at the App Store. Do it today.
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, you already know.
I'm Brent Potovin, 22 West Sports Director. Join me and some other fun guys as we discuss the sports world from the NBA to Long Beach State sports, and some surprises along the way. Tune in to Beach Center, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Thank you, and go Beach.
This is Dominic Curie. I am a film and production major, and this is 22 West.
And we're back with Beyond the Ropes, episode 99. I'm Ethan.
I'm Rob.
And as always, we are BTR, Pro Wrestling Talk. We are on Facebook. Give us a like there. Facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes, where we post videos, predictions, and additional content. We are also on YouTube, Just search up Rob Flores Media, or search up Beyond the Ropes, and you'll find currently 98 episodes uploaded there. You can see us from the very beginning up until, well, a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah. We were on holiday last week.
When we started different rooms.
Yeah, exactly. And different station too.
Yeah.
And we are on Twitter. Individually, you can follow me at EthanNB95. You can follow James at JHW Reporter, and Rob at
Rob Flores Media.
And collectively at Real BTR Radio. That is Real BTR Radio. BTR Radio has 2 R's in it. The picture has a skull on it and says we are BTR, in case you're wondering. We are also currently on you now. You can see my face, only my face today. Okay. And yeah. Rob's not on there. James is in here, so you'll see my face and this beautiful championship title since Rob and I have had for how many episodes now?
Wow.
Not all of them, but for most of them we've had them, right?
Yeah.
At least since like episode 2015, like 15, right? It was like pretty early on in the show. Episode 100. We can officially announce it now. Can we confirm?
Yeah,
I think we have a date. I think our official date as of right now is December 2nd. That's when all 3 of us will be live in the studio. Rob, our producer, yours truly, the host, and James, the analyst, will be live in the studio, the 22 West Radio studio. And for the 100th time, we will be going live as part of Beyond the Ropes, the Beyond the Ropes brand. We are BTR, Pro Wrestling Talk. And it's going to be a live special 2-hour edition, because I believe we're taking over Rob's Golden Spotlight Hour that night. So mark your calendars, Monday, December 2nd at 6 p.m. That's a plan. If things change, which I don't think they should, I think we're set on that. But for whatever reason things change, make sure you follow us on Twitter again, Real BTR Radio. We'll give an announcement, or our Facebook page. Just search up Beyond the Ropes. So we'll give any updates on that. Happening in a couple of weeks on that special 100th episode. we're gonna have a live draft. It's gonna be Rob with his 30 picks, yours truly with my 30 picks, and James will have 30 picks from various promotions: WWE, AEW, NWA Power, possibly Impact, possibly. Trying to mix it up a little bit, but essentially it's going to work very similar to a fantasy football league, where every week we earn points by our talent, or our crew, our superstars, our draft picks that we chose. They earn points every week by competing in matches, winning matches, cutting promos, and so on. I gotta send the roster to Rob and James for that. So hopefully I get that to you guys next week, so you guys can start picking and choosing who's going to be on your rosters. But we're going to do a live draft on that special 100th episode, as well as maybe a few other things. Haven't decided yet. I started working on some show notes, so I'll get that to you and James as well. Put that on the group chat so we can start prepping for that very special episode. So I think that's episode 100 covered in a nutshell. Again, Monday, December 2nd. It's going to be live 2 hours. We're taking over Rob's second hour, so should be a good show. Some updates here. Jordan Miles. We talked about Jordan Miles before on the show.
Did I give him the boot?
Well, just a little quick update. He went and signed over a T-shirt to sign that he didn't like. That was, he considered racist, which, if you look at it, it could be determined that way. It was taken care of, and it was never approved. I guess it was never sold. So things were, I think a lot of people agreed with him until the point where he mentioned Jay Lethal and kind of went off the rails. Started calling out different companies and started saying things on Twitter and social media that seemed a bit off, and everyone essentially turned on him. And he made a video this past weekend where he essentially said he quits WWE. He called a number of people racist in the company. He started using very special language that we can't say on the air, and it's pretty intense. So can't really go into too much detail. But essentially, he said he quits. As of right now, there has been no official word from WWE on whether he has been released or not, and don't know if that's going to mean anything. As far as James, he has some thoughts on the situation. I sent him. Okay, so this is it. He says he quit, but he doesn't realize he was unofficially fired weeks ago when he went over the top with his comments beyond the shirt issue. And I think many people would agree on that. He went way beyond the issue of the shirt. If it was just a shirt, I could understand that being an issue. I think it should have been dealt with behind the scenes, however, not on social media, but he clearly went off the rails over the last few weeks, and it's probably best if he and WWE part ways, but we will see what WWE does.
It's a very delicate situation.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Hopefully we'll have more updates on our 100th episode, and we won't have to talk about this dramatic situation anymore. Alright, we have a few minutes, I guess. AEW. They're on my nerves, Rob. Why are they trying to be so much like WCW? Tell me why. WCW died almost 20 years ago, and they're trying to bring it back and trying to make it like a new thing, but they should focus on being their own company. I specifically have a problem with the people that are running their show. I'm talking about specifically Tony Khan and the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks have their YouTube show, Being the Elite, where they, first off, they're executive vice presidents of AEW for anyone listening, but they have made jokes about the Saudi Arabia issues that WWE had on one of their most recent YouTube shows. And it's like, okay, they're making mockery of what could have been a serious situation, and it's like, why do you need to do that? It's like kind of a cheap shot at that point. And it's like WWE Yes, they had NXT. They have NXT to compete against AEW, so they could take away viewers. That's competition, but you don't see WWE kind of taking small digs at AEW, especially executives taking digs. The Young Bucks are supposed to be executives, and they're not essentially acting that way. Tony Khan, especially, has not been acting like an executive. So 2 weeks ago, before their inaugural, I guess, or second pay-per-view or whatever, there was a fight between Jimmy Havoc, AEW wrestler, and Excalibur, who is a commentator for AEW. Apparently, they got into a fight in front of Tony Khan, and during the post press conference after AEW's pay-per-view, Full Gear, Khan just laughed it off, saying, that's what they do in football. His family obviously owns a football team, so he's kind of used to that environment. But it's like, as an executive, you would think there would be some type of repercussions, and it's like, what are you doing? James disagrees with me. I'll say what he has to say about it. He says he doesn't see a problem with two guys getting into a fight, especially in front of Tony Khan. Before watching the video with this reaction, I had the same reaction he did in the opening seconds of the comments. That stuff happens, especially in football and other sports. With that being said, I don't think this happened at a restaurant. This didn't happen backstage, behind closed doors. This happened in front of people, in front of, I believe, a sponsor. I think it was Jimmy Seafood, which is a sponsor for AEW. They do the catering, I think, or something. I know they had Jericho's party. He turned 49, I believe, this past weekend or the weekend before. But the thing is, you don't get into fights in front of sponsors. So I think it looks ridiculous on their part. I don't think it's professional what Khan is doing. Apparently he's getting into a bit of a Twitter argument with CM Punk and Randy Orton earlier today, taking digs at them, because I guess they mentioned him, and so he replied. But it's like, you don't see Triple H or Vince tweeting stuff back at AEW wrestlers. It just seems kind of tacky and unprofessional on my part. And overall, AEW as a show, I'm not too keen on it. I think it's okay, but I'm like 2 tweets behind on it, so that should tell you how I feel about the show. I'm not really interested in keeping up with it. I'm fine with NXT though, so that's my Wednesday. That's a bit of a rant. I kept it light, not going too off the rails here. I'm not going full Jordan Miles on everyone, but yeah. So that's what I gotta say about AEW. We haven't covered them much over the last few weeks, but part of the reason why I just kind of laid off them for a bit. So, with that being said, AEW, as I mentioned, steals another concept from WCW, because Bash at the Beach is happening January 15th. I know you're probably excited about it, because you like WCW and you wanted to see Halloween Havoc. So I'm sure you're happy about Bash at the Beach. Apparently, which is going to happen during, they're going to have an AEW taping at Jericho's cruise. There's going to be a live cruise taping, so that should be interesting. Closing off the show, we've got 2 minutes here, but we want to say thank you to everyone who has ever listened to our show. It's been a wonderful 99 episodes. Rob, you have anything to say before signing off here?
No, can't wait for 100.
Yeah, episode 100 should be exciting. It's been nice that on our last two-digit show, we've managed to once again just have it be us two. We've kind of hit gold with James appearing, having an additional spot to the show, because he brought new life to the show, I believe. But it's been nice to have us two just close it out of this specific era of the show, because we're going to lead into a new era. I think James and I have some ideas moving into our triple digit show. That's a tongue twister, but it should be fun. We're moving into a new era in 2 weeks. Monday, December 2nd, live 2 hours on 22West Radio. Just search up 22westmedia.com and you'll find us there, or you can watch us on video format. Find us youtube.com. Search up Beyond the Ropes, or search up Rob Flores or Rob Flores Media, and you'll find by that point, 99 episodes uploaded, as well as episode 100 in the near future. I think I'd have a little something for you guys on that special 100th episode. But until next time.
Is it a balloons that say 100 or what?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to carry around balloons on the bus, but
Look
we'll
at
see.
Ethan, you look so young for 100.
Our 100th celebration, 2 weeks live here. But until next time, this episode has been too sweet, and we're going to go old school, because it's about to be deleted. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, December 2nd, 6 p.m., right here.